democracies will thrive, and unite in solidarity as one to foster innovation and collaboration across societies at large. It is now time to inspire transformative change that cuts across the boundaries of here and now. This report is a step in that very direction. It captures strong and weak signals and condenses publicly available big data into strategic insight that investigates the transformative capacities of 40 selected countries. Transformation requires innovation, experimentation, and collective responsibility. This report highlights the level of preparedness of different countries to capably face future crises without any lingering long-term damage to society, economy, and planet. After all, change begins here. Change begins now. The future of knowledge, of foresight.
Okay, thank you for your life.
تشكيل مستقبل التعليم والطرق المثلى لتطوير نظام بيئي جديد لطلبة العلم، وكيف يمكن التفاعل والتعاون ما بين العالمين الواقعي والرقمي. نرحب به جميعا.
Video? Very good.
I remember the teacher talked and we listened. We had to memorise quite a lot too. A lot of time was spent giving out books and collecting them up again. We were sitting in rows and desks so we could see the board better because talk and chalk was the way.
There must be an industrial revolution in education, in which educational science and the ingenuity of educational technology combine to modernise the grossly inefficient and clumsy procedures of conventional education. Sidney L. Pressey, 1924.
These young people are studying in a new way.
A computing calculator designed for use in high school classrooms has created tremendous excitement among educators.
The tool which has made this possible is a high-speed digital computer operating with electronic precision on great quantities of information.
If we think about the third industrial revolution, that was PCs and the internet, and we've just about caught up with that. The fourth industrial revolution is what becomes possible from those technologies.
Industry 4.0 is the next big shift in the way that manufacturing operates. Digital know-how is going to be hugely important, and then people will need to be flexible because the world will change.
The future workplace and future societies, we're still moulding them as we go, and technology is one of the main pillars in what is shaping what the future will look like.
The pace of change is remarkable, with the introduction of these exponential technologies creating a paradigm shift to create Education 4.0.
Lectures aren't fit for purpose anymore. Using textbooks and teaching in a Victorian sort of method with rows of students listening to the teacher taking notes, it's obsolete. We need to use our time in lessons to actually have those meaningful mentoring one-to-ones that can never be replaced. The technology gives us that time if we use it correctly.
Rather than being something that's scary, we can use technology to be something that's very liberating for people. So instead of having to go through the rigmarole of institutional learning as it's been in the past, we can actually use smart robotics, smart computers to make learning more accessible to more people and to actually tailor to individual needs.
This whole cluster of AI technologies will make learning for students more rewarding, teaching for academics more rewarding. We want it to be a win for everybody.
We've shown already in clinical studies and trials that retention is up to 70% higher in virtual reality. That has a huge impact on learning and retention of facts.
The challenge is for universities to really develop their students' digital skills so that they can actually make use of those skills in the workplace.
It would be all too easy to say everyone must learn to code, but the truth is coding is just one digital skill.
Creativity, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, these skills that can never be automated, that can never be replaced, are what we need to focus on.
Education 4.0 is a request to the education sector to rethink the educational paradigm, and it's an opportunity for us as this fourth industrial revolution kicks off to think about what modern education should look like.
We now live in a hyper-connected world, and now the time, more than ever, the time is for us to say, what do we want to do with that?
It's great to be here, of course, in Dubai, and thanks for the kind invitation to speak at the Knowledge Summit. I must say, first of all, as a doctor, we were so impressed with the way that UAE has handled the pandemic over the last 2 years. It's been difficult for all of us. I mean, the title, of course, is Protect Humanity and the Pandemic. I think UAE have done a great job in that fold. I'll, for the next hour, talk to you about innovation, technology, education, disruption, and where that future might lie, as a way of opening up your minds to imagine a world and society that may develop from this pandemic. What we've seen during the pandemic is an acceleration of ideas. Prior to the pandemic, there was little disruption. We're now seeing innovation happen at pace, particularly in healthcare, but also now in education. We've been remote for 2 years, thinking of new ways of teaching our students, learning ourselves, whether it's a Zoom platform, Microsoft Teams. Let's learn, relearn how we teach and educate people around the world using connectivity. So, with that in mind, of course, I'm going to now spend a little time talking about this kind of vision around the metaverse and Web 3.0, with new technologies, such as that new language of innovation in education. We have to think about hybrid models. No longer will we go back just to face-to-face. The world will demand change with hybrid models of learning, including teaching in the digital worlds. So what we're going to talk about in a moment, I'm going to actually spend some time in the physical world and some time in the digital world. This will be a combination talk. In a moment, I'm going to go around backstage with my headset and connect with colleagues in that digital world. What we're seeing now with this concept of the metaverse is a seamless transition from here, physically, to going in the digital world with an avatar, with a hologram, connecting people, and perhaps overcome some issues around climate change, not traveling anymore to remote areas to teach people. So it's about democratization, it's scaling education at a huge level. So now, join me as I now go behind stage and enter the metaverse and give a lecture from the metaverse. I'll come back again as my digital self and speak to you again in real life, of course, here in Dubai. So just give me a moment. Hello everyone, and now we've been transformed and transported into the metaverse. This is what it looks like, a virtual world that's created to represent a new society, a new way of working. As you can see here, we've got the university hospital that provides services going forward. Let's go to look around this beautiful world that we're creating that depicts natural environment, that allows us to reimagine how we would work
in this environment. And here, of course, is the metaversity, where we'll be able to teach as teachers and learn as we're students. Now, first of all, to show us this world in much more detail, I'm going to introduce and welcome my dear colleague, Dr. Michael Calvis. Hi Michael, thanks for joining me. Can you tell the audience here in Dubai at the Knowledge Summit a bit about yourself, your background, and also where you are joining me from?
Hello Professor Shafi, thank you so much for joining me here in Amedis Health World. I'm Michael, the CEO and founder of Amedis, and I have created together with my colleagues Amedis Health World, an interactive 3D world where people come together, patients can meet doctors, hospitals and caregivers can get in touch with patients and offer the services and support to patients all around the world.
Incredible, you're revolutionizing and reimagining the world of healthcare. So where are you at the moment, Michael?
Yeah, so I'm actually located in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. Okay, Professor Shafi, so let me take you on a little tour here through our facilities and show you a little bit around.
Wonderful. Michael, this looks gorgeous. Tell me more about this space you created.
So here you see the entry hall of the virtual university hospital that we've created for one of our partners. And it's the first thing that you see when you enter the hospital. You can take a look around and can decide where to go and what to do. Okay, first let's go to the reception and let's take a look at what we can do. So at the reception, you first get in touch with one of our Amedis virtual assistants that will guide you through the institution and will help you on your journey through the Amedis Health world.
Where should we go next?
So first, let's go to the theater, to the university theater, and take a look at the possibilities about learning and education. So here you see our university theater where a lot of people can attend and follow lectures from all over the world.
Great, let's have a look around this great space. Wonderful, so you've got students here already, and I can imagine lots of people being in this space to learn from the world-class teachers from various parts of our world, but of course being taught virtually.
Exactly. Okay, let me now show you our world and our vision.
Welcome to Amedis Health World, the world's first medical metaverse, offering unlimited possibilities for doctors, patients, caregivers, and the healthcare industry around the world. Patients can get therapies, consultation, education, and social interaction through the power of virtual reality, anywhere in the world, at any time, on all of their devices. Our virtual hospital chain will incorporate a wide range of services and experiences that seamlessly connect patients to healthcare professionals, as it will be easy as turning on their phone from the comfort of their home to connect to a healthcare professional in another corner of the world.
Well, that was an amazing video. Thanks for sharing your vision and that world you're building for all of us here in Dubai. What will we do next, Michael?
It's a pleasure, Professor. So let's now take a look at the other facilities that we can find inside this virtual university clinic.
Sure, take me through this.
Let's go.
Great, so we're now back in the foyer. Now we're going to be hopefully seeing some other rooms, for example. So, Michael, where are we heading towards?
Absolutely. We now will see some of the examination rooms.
Okay, what's the first one?
So the first one's over here. Please follow me.
Yeah, let's follow you. Let's just walk around. Come on, let's go.
So this is one of the spacious consultation rooms. We have find all the possibilities to talk to patients, to their families, and to discuss issues and etc.
This can be used for MDTs, because there's a lot of desk space, can be office space, as well as sometimes we can break it by news or other communication things, for example, in this space, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So where are we going next, Michael?
So let's now go to some examination rooms for doctors and for medical examinations. Please follow me.
Okay, as you can see now, we're wandering through the foyer again, finding a new room, and here we are. This is the examination room.
Yes.
So let's go in there, Michael.
So here are 2 examination rooms. Let's go into examination room 2 for now.
I love how you designed this, Michael. It looks like, feels like a real clinical space, for example, yeah?
Exactly. We wanted to keep it as real as possible, to really give that feeling of a hospital, right? Without losing the connection to reality, but in a good-looking way.
Yeah, so here we could examine patients, for example, there's the eye examination charts and various instruments, and actually I just noticed a lovely machine there in terms of your portable ultrasound, for example, and then what about your desk over there? It looks rather interesting. Can you have a look at that?
Yeah, so we have a desk over there where you can take a look at the patient's medical records. The medical records that, for example, are stored inside the Ametis ecosystem.
Okay, so this is where you can capture data. Let's look at your computer screen a little bit. Let's just go a bit further, just over there, something like so we can have maybe real computers, real interfaces built into that virtual world, capturing electronic health data, for example, and maybe looking at it in a real-time interface.
Absolutely, and you get also the possibility to stream data from IoT devices directly into this world by using these large screens. So you can discuss findings interactively with the patient.
Great, excellent. So where next?
So next, let's take a look at some of the theaters, surgery theater, the MRI and the cath lab that we have on the first floor.
As a surgeon, I'll be really looking forward to seeing how we can maybe operate in the virtual world in the future. But let's look at the space in more detail.
Great, it's a pleasure to show you.
So now we're going up the stairs. This is great, actually, walking up the stairs in a virtual environment. Let's go up here. That's right, and then join Michael on top of the stairs. And there should be some more rooms here, Michael. Show me what's up here.
So please follow me to the MRI room now.
Of course. So great, this is an MRI room. Oh, look, amazing. It looks like an MRI room.
It is actually a real MRI, where you not only can learn about how radiologic departments or radiologic machines work, but you can also do interactive trainings where, for example, when you're afraid to go into an MRI and you're suffering from claustrophobia, you can put on your VR glasses, you can lay yourself into an MRI to learn all about these conditions and to get used to it. For example, when you have a real examination upcoming, to reduce your stress level and to reduce your anxiety.
That sounds very helpful, and perhaps a real use case for this metaverse healthcare system, if you like. But what's next door, Michael?
So let's now go to the surgery theater. Here we have a room where the patient is prepared for a surgery. Please follow me directly to the surgery theater. Here you can learn all about surgery, you can understand how these techniques work, what is happening to you when you get a surgery. It also reduces stress, it also reduces anxiety, and makes you feel safer when going into the real examination and the real procedure.
So I can see from a patient's perspective, this allows familiarity and perhaps understanding, reducing the stress levels so that they acquire more knowledge about their case and what they might be going through when they enter hospital. So I'm following you now, so we're going off to the Pathology Museum and Education Centre. Let's have a look. Just here, I'm teleporting myself, following Michael here. This helps with motion sickness. A lot of people have commented on motion sickness and VR, but actually can be overcome by using technologies like teleporting or moving a different way to allow less nausea and less kind of motion sickness. So here we are now, moving effortlessly and seamlessly through this new kind of rooms that we've created. And here we are now in the Path lab and museum. So what have we got here? We've got lots of parts and organs of the body, right?
That's exactly true. So we can find everything we need in this room. You can do pathological examinations. You can take a look at 3D organs and probes, which is quite new because up to now you were bound to real tissue or to a book, which is in 2D, but now you can take a look at these organs and all these structures in 3D and learn exactly and understand how this is working.
And that's the advantage of 3D assets or objects that you can manipulate, see in real life, etc. About to dissect. Let's go and see where the students are at the moment. Let's go and see what they're doing. So here are the students being taught remotely. They can be taught remotely from anywhere in the world with an instructor, or have what's called a multi-disciplinary team meeting with experts that will share their knowledge about patient care. So as you can see, this is one of the examples where this virtual learning and training might be very useful.
Exactly. Remember when we were students, when we were medical students, Shafi, and we took a look at anatomy books and had to understand how the liver is structured, how a heart is working. Now you have the possibility to see it in 3D and actually touch it, right? And to understand this from all angles.
Wonderful. Let's just go and look around a bit further. Let's see what else is there around this room. There's skeletons, there's anatomy dissections, and there's all sorts of manner of things we can go to. So let's just go around the room slightly and have a look around. Okay, as you can see, this is a great space to be in. And let's just go to that skeleton on the right-hand side over there, on the right-hand side. The other side, we go, just turn around a little bit and go to the skeleton. There we are. Look, here we are. So we could teach them live anatomy, for example, using skeletons and things, and also demonstrating clinical and physical science for our trainees and medical students. Wonderful. So where we go next?
Okay, Professor, I hope you like the tour through the hospital. I will take you now to the main hall so you can meet with Andy and go to Metaversity.
Thank you so much for showing me around, not only just me, but the audience here at the Knowledge Summit, the people watching live around the world at this Knowledge Summit of 2022.
Thank you so much. That was just a short glimpse of what you can do inside ML's health world. This will be expanded bit by bit, and you will have endless possibilities. We invite the audience to participate in building this unique world. So after the show, you can get in touch with us to learn more about the possibilities in participating, getting a piece of land inside ML's health world, and support us in building a great future healthcare. Thank you so much.
So now we've had a great look at the hospital of the future, the metaverse, and how we're building a healthcare city. We're now going to look at education and go and meet my colleague, Dr. Andy Kumar, to talk about the metaversity. Hey, and welcome. This is the Knowledge Summit with a big audience next to you. Tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from at the moment.
Hey, Professor Shafi. My name is Dr. Andy Kumar. I'm a pediatric cardiac surgeon out in Toronto, Ontario. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to plug in from Toronto to attend this conference and to share a little bit about Metaversity. I'm really looking forward to it and to potentially inaugurate our lecture hall with the Knowledge Summit lecture. So thank you so much for that.
So, why don't you take me to Metaversity and let's talk about your vision, the ambition that we have in building this amazing concept for people around the world.
Sounds good. Let's go ahead and do that.
So thanks, Andy. This looks like the entrance of the Metaversity. Tell me about how you designed this.
Yeah, so this is our Metaversity main lobby. This is our first campus at the moment. So as you can see behind me, there's our registration desk. And if you slowly move towards your right, you'll see our hologram. Here we plan to put the daily calendar and courses students can register so they get an idea of the courses Metaversity were to offer. To the left, you'll see the area where people can socialize slowly with the students, whether students want to speak to teachers or students just want to socialize. And then on the right, you see the theater and our classrooms. So Shafi, why don't I take you to the back to our classroom first so you can see what our space is like.
Okay, great, let's have a look.
So Shafi, this is our classroom. It's a small, intimate space that students can attend lectures. To the left, we have our big screen. And if we slowly move to it, I think we have an interesting video we'd like to play.
Right.
Hi, Sophie.
So the HoloLens itself really allows us to reshape the way we connect people, we communicate with people, and also to be used in teaching and training. Initially when you put the HoloLens on, it feels a bit strange, but actually in a few minutes it becomes quite normal. It feels like you're just discussing cases with people in the same room, for example, like we do in normal hospital practice.